Hey guys, welcome to the next video. Today it's me and Ivana. We're going to be talking about stretching, a little bit about it, how to do it, what it's good for, and yeah, we'll just pretty much get straight into it. The first thing is if some of you might not know what is stretching. So all stretching is really, it's just the lengthening, so the deliberate or purposely lengthening of a certain muscle or your muscle groups and tendons in the aim of improving flexibility or range of motion. So that's pretty much what it is. I guess the next way is how do you do it, or ways to stretch. And the first stretch, or the most common stretch, I think, would be static. Static stretching.
Yes, which involves getting into a particular position and holding a stretch.
Yep.
You hold it for 10 to 30 seconds and keep in a good position.
Yeah.
And you can repeat it 2 to 5 times. That's it.
Yeah. So getting in that stretch, holding it still. Cool. Yeah, wicked. Static stretching. It's definitely the most common. It's the one you would have done through school. It's the one you just do all the time. The next most common stretching, I'd say, is probably just dynamic stretching. Or it's commonly also called as like range of motion stretching. It's a type of stretching when you're doing a warm-up or you're doing something and you want to be stretching your joint or your muscles or your tendons in a moving motion. So to say you want to be stretching sort of your quad muscles, so the fronts of your thighs. You'll do things like kicking your butt, where it just brings up your foot at the back and stretches those quad muscles out, or that whole group there. Really good as a warm-up, so sort of get moving, get a lot of blood flow flowing. Anything else on that? I think that's about it on dynamic. The next one, what do you have? PNF stretching?
PNF, yes. Which involves both stretching and contraction of the targeted muscle group. It's the most effective type for stretching and improving flexibility.
Yeah.
It's tricky to do on your own, so you do need a partner for it. You start by doing a static stretch and taking a muscle to the end of range of motion. You hold it for 10 to 15 seconds and then you push against your partner.
Yep.
And hold it there, like pushing for about 6 seconds.
Yep.
And then your partner pushes back, hopefully a range of motion will increase.
Yep.
And you repeat that until the range of motion stops.
Yeah. So it might say, depending on what you're stretching, it might get further and further and further.
Yes.
And all of a sudden it just won't go further. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just hold another static stretch for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. Definitely the best stretch. Again, the tricky thing is, as you said, you need a partner.
Yes.
But if you can get someone to help you do it, there's definitely nothing better, I don't think.
My favorite.
In terms of stretching, yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. Awesome. The last stretch we want to cover is ballistic stretching. Ballistic and dynamic are two very similar things. Ballistic, so I guess the difference, what ballistic is it's the intensity of your dynamic stretches. So you're really going and bouncing to get further and further and further and further past your normal range of motion, as you might do with your dynamic stretches. So you might be trying to move and stretch the joint. Ballistic is you increase that intensity and you really yank on it. You really force it to stretch.
Yeah.
It's not the safest way to stretch. I don't recommend it to everyone. It's sort of like you see, or like little like kung fu, gymnastics and like kung fu and stuff in the splits, and they're just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing till they get that full stretch or beyond the full stretch in your splits.
Yes.
Which can be dangerous, but it does work, which is why it has been done for thousands of years, I suppose. They're the 4 main types of stretching. I guess the most common ones them ones are fine. There's nothing wrong with doing your static and dynamic stretches. If you can do the PNF stretching though, it's definitely going to help. Cool, so that's how you stretch. I guess the next reason is why, or the next thing to cover is why you would stretch. The whole purpose of stretching is just increasing flexibility of range of motion.
Yes.
Over a joint or multiple joints. So a quick sort of rundown on that, I suppose, is if you're trying to touch your toes with straight legs like you might have seen before, if your range of motion or your flexibility is limited sort of through the backs of your knees, your bum, your upper back, your shoulders, you can't reach that. So by increasing the range of motion in all of those joints, you can get further, which is flexibility. So that's just a common one. It happens with every joint, every muscle group. You just want to do that. So yeah, so why you want to look at increasing your flexibility or your range of motion, there's a few reasons, a couple that we want to touch on today. The main one where I probably do stretches with clients and myself and just people in general is just fixing or correcting postural imbalances.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess a major common one is rounded shoulders. Most people have them. I know I had it really bad as a kid. Lots of guys do. Playing football, your hands are like this all the time. You're in that tight spot.
Typing.
And then yeah, as you grow up, everyone, if you're at a computer, you're always hunched. It shortens these pec muscles and sort of your fronts of your delts and bringing everything in, as well as weakening the back. But that's a whole other story. One main way or half the way of fixing that problem is stretching those muscles back. So yeah, mainly your pecs. On opening your chest. So again, that's just one of your postural imbalances, but stretching is the way to go to fix that. So I'd say, yeah, that's my number one reason for why I stretch with other people.
Yeah, I find it relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
So especially after every session with my client, we do stretch because yeah, it's relaxing.
It's a good way to just
to
finish up.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Wicked. Yeah, also with it being relaxing, I find sort of if I'm in bed like really restless and I just can't relax, try and have a stretch. Move around a little bit, then start stretching. 15 minutes of stretching, lower back, bloody legs, bigger muscle groups. You just find that you just relaxed after that. Then I'm usually, yeah.
That's why yoga is good.
Hey?
Yoga.
Yeah. I don't do yoga. But
I do.
Yeah, but it is good. Wicked. So yeah, and then the last sort of benefit I'd say, or a main reason why I tell people to stretch, if you are running in particular or playing certain sports, it's good to stretch before, after, during. It just reduces that chance of injury. You're kicking a footy. If you are going to be yanking your leg up all the way to kick, it's good to have that range of motion through your hamstrings and stuff. You see it all the time, people pulling hammies.
Yes.
Stretching is just a common way to help that not happen. It's definitely not going to say you're never going to do it if you stretch, but it just reduces that chance. So yeah, that's pretty much why how you stretch, why you stretch. The last thing we wanted to throw in is just our main tips. On stretching. So my sort of number one tip that not everyone knows or it's my recommendation that not everyone does, is just not to do your static stretches before you're doing sort of a power workout or a power based training, like heavier weights training, stuff like that. A usual sort of weight session, if you're doing sort of long sets of squats, like minutes and minutes, it's okay. But if you are doing that power stuff, that stretching beforehand, it actually decreases your blood flow before, and then it's just going to limit your performance. So you're going to hold yourself back. There's studies that say it's like 10% or something. I'm not going to put a number on it, but I know that you can't perform as good. So that's probably my best tip.
Mine will be stretching your muscles when they're warm.
Yep.
Because they do stretch better.
Mm-hmm.
So after your workout and when you're at home, if you're doing gardening or something, cleaning the house, you can stretch after.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
After you've been moving. Yeah.
Yes.
Just makes it better.
Yes.
Alright, cool. I think that's it for the stretching video, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.